Guys, we are previewing the big one. Liverpool versus Arsenal. The best two teams in the Premier League today go head-to-head on Sunday. You're with your boy Neely and Marky Mark. Marky Mark, hit me. Liverpool versus Arsenal. The best two teams in the land?
Yeah, statistically, I mean, I don't think you are. I think still Chelsea will wipe the floor with you. But anyways, that still remains to be seen. Fine. Statistically, based on last season, I'll give you that. I just have to accept it. That's it. That's it. What are you saying? Excited for this one?
Am I excited for this one? Well, look, why don't we look at the form going into it? Let's talk firstly about the home team. Did you see Liverpool versus Newcastle?
How could I not see that? It's Monday Night Football. I had to watch it. Watched everything, the analysis, the breakdown, everything. Yeah, very interesting. A super interesting game. I couldn't take my eyes off it, to be fair. What did you make of it?
It was interesting. I thought, honestly, it was game done. Once they went 1-0 up and then it was still game on then, but Anthony Gordon, by the way, that's his third red card in Newcastle colours, yeah?
Yeah,
Third
I
red
know.
card in Newcastle colours. He's been there, one season? I don't know if he's got an issue or not, but I don't know what he was doing. He said there was no malice in it. He spoke to Virgil afterwards, whatever else. I mean, geez, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're not trying to win the ball at all. You're not going to win it from the angle that he's running towards Virgil. So what have you done? You've just got too excited, or you've just been a dick? Because whatever happened, he's basically cost his team 3 points. Because 11 versus 11, and it's not just me saying this, Carragher himself, the Liverpool darling, reckons 11 versus 11, Newcastle win that game. What do you think?
I mean, you can't really say, there were. I mean, let's have a look at it. Up until before the first goal, right? Liverpool were absolutely
Good goal, by the way.
Newcastle, great goal. Newcastle were absolutely dominating. I was looking at the corner of my screen and it said over the past 10 minutes, Newcastle had 80% possession. That's an insane stat. And then all of a sudden that goal came. So you don't really know at 11 against 11 who's going to win, but it was Anthony Gordon. Like, I was going to say, yeah, you had 3 red cards, but I support Chelsea. I can't really say much. Nico Jackson had 2 red cards consecutively. So thank God he's going off to Bayern Munich or Aston Villa or wherever it is. But regardless, I have no idea what Anthony Gordon was actually doing. You were the last one there. Why even do that? You were the player at the top of the pitch, and there was no one else there. I don't understand. I don't get why he even did that, but he did it. He's just reckless. How old is this guy? 25, 26?
Old enough. He's old enough.
He should know better. He should know better. He should know better. But credit to Newcastle for anything, because they made that game lively. Even with 10 men, they still gave it to Liverpool, and I'll rate that. Now, even without Isak, it's clear. I know we're going off topic, but we have to give a little bit of credit to Newcastle, because even with just 10 men, they gave them a full run for their money. That St. James's Park is a big fortress, even without Isak. So, yeah, I mean, apart from that, Liverpool did their thing. What did you think about the rest of it?
Well, I say Liverpool did their thing. I'm not sure they did do their thing. So Hugo Ekitike gets his goal straight after half-time. And I tell you what, Mark, you are right, Newcastle, fortress, Newcastle, tough place to go. But when you're 2-0 up, home or away, and you're up against 10 men, you've got to do better than what Liverpool did. Here's what I saw.
Facts.
Ekitike scores. By the way, Ekitike. Well,
you like him now?
He's looking like a signing so far, isn't he? Credit where credit's due. He's looking very lively. I like the way. I just like his movement. I like his strength. I like the way he doesn't look clumsy like Darwin. I don't mean to compare him to Darwin Núñez, but what I am saying is they had a very similar price tag. But Hugo's showing Darwin how it should be done. Anyway, he gets the second goal for Liverpool, his first of the night, 2-2 for him. And from that moment, 10-man Newcastle, not only did they not give up, a lot of teams would have, 2-0 down against the champions, let's face it, and you're down to 10 men. Not only did they not give up, they go on to be the best team out of the two for the whole half. Liverpool go 2-0 up and don't have another shot until until the winner. Now, before we get to the winner, Bruno Guimaraes, whatever you think about him, and I know me and the other Chelsea boy that we know were having a bit of a chat about Bruno. He's something so unlikable about him. Unless he's wearing your shirt, there's something so unlikable about him. But you've got to give credit where credit is due. He does his job. He puts himself about, and he's the one who leads a charge back for Newcastle. 2-1, Bruno's header. Game on.
Game on. Game on.
Game
yeah.
on.
It was, bro. It was a brilliant game. To be fair, who scored the second? Who scored the second goal for Newcastle? Remind me again.
Of course, Asula. They had the free kick, didn't they? That Pope took.
Yeah.
Osula scores the goal 80th minute, right towards the end, which was
to be fair, yeah.
Sweet.
When that goal was done, I thought, oh my god, it's going to be 2-2. I was like, no way have they actually come back. And then obviously it was the old Chelsea boy. I can't even pronounce his name. It just seems like super subbing from Arne Slot, because he brought on that kid who is supposed to be the new wonder kid of Liverpool. They purchased him from Chelsea, and he come on and he pretty much had the last kick of the kick of the game, which was a goal. And that move, that slobber slide.
Yeah, slobber.
Slobber slide. The way he left that ball for this new kid was absolutely brilliant. I think that's the move of the season so far, given there's only 2 weeks. But that was brilliant. And I was so happy for the old Chelsea kid. But obviously, I was so disappointed because I was really hoping that Liverpool would drop points. But going into the game, we now have more information about Liverpool. And they're not as gung-ho as they usually are. They're not as on point. In fact, in that game, they were absolutely dominated, as I've just said. They were lucky.
By 10 men,
say lucky.
Mark, by 10 men.
It's crazy. A standard, strong Liverpool team should have no issues dispatching any team in world football with 10 men. To allow them to come back, right, after being 2-0 ahead is crazy. So there's a lot of holes in that squad. I mean, Konate. Let's talk about him.
I'll kick you back to Konate in a sec, but it's not even that they let Newcastle back into the game. I just think Newcastle grabbed hold and forced themselves into the game. By the way, the kid that you're talking about that scored the winner is Rio. I know it's difficult to say his surname, so we just stick with Rio. He's got Rio on the back of his shirt. We'll call him Rio. A great finish, great dummy by Slobbers. And yeah, the move of the night, possibly the move of the season, fair play, albeit against 10-man Newcastle. Let's talk about Konate. You brought him up. You go for it. What are your thoughts on Konate? Because I've got a few.
Great Konate. I mean, you messaged on the chat yesterday that, his head's been already turned by Real Madrid, but still you have to be a professional, right? You still have to give it 110% for the team that you're playing. I don't think Konate's going to be going like by the end of the season. I mean, he could, but it looks like he's going to be going at the end of next season, and there's calls from Real Madrid. But if they're basing it on that performance, no way should they sign him. Not even that performance. This recent performance and the first game of the season when, who was it? Eze. Was it Eze? It was Eze.
What do you mean, first game of the season?
Their first game of the season.
Semenyo.
They had
Bournemouth.
That was it. It was Semenyo who took the ball from the beginning, from their half, and ran straight through the front. And he was twisting and turning Konate. It was such a good goal, but it was terrible defending. And I actually think, Verge was at fault as well as Konate for that first goal. But then Konate's had another calamity in this game yesterday. I don't know what it is. I think Arne Slot may need to consider dropping him or something. I mean, who else are they going to put on? Because right now he looks a little bit all over the place. I think he's still on holiday, to be fair. But if he's still playing, he's one to get at. What do you think about what I just said? He's a big 100%. Goal for me.
Yeah, I think he is currently, but we know how good Konate is, Mark. So, excuse me, he should come good. We mentioned something about Bournemouth, and Konate is picking up all the flack because obviously, Mark, you can't criticise Virgil van Dijk. You know that, right? You're not allowed to criticise the great mighty Virgil who wears a halo. By the way, it was a red card for Gordon yesterday. However, if that tackle happens on Levi Colwill or Gabriel up at St. James's Park, I'm not sure that yellow gets overturned to a red. It was the right decision. But again, it's Virgil, right, guys? Hey, Let's find many ways to give Liverpool the game. Let's give them 11 minutes extra time. I'm not bitter. I'm just pointing it out. Anyway, regardless,
You
I'm going
sound
off on a
bitter.
tangent. I am, man. I am. Honestly, when it was 2-2, I thought, yeah, job done. And then the board goes up 11 minutes. Like, yeah, of course. Let's give Liverpool a minute for every man they've got on the pitch, see if they can get a winner. And they got one, didn't they? Yeah, of course I'll get some flat. Listen, I was getting flat the other day from Aston Villa fans because I said Unai Emery's not the second best manager in the league. Fans get triggered. I apologise. I don't actually. Liverpool fans, give it to me. Konate, sorry, Mark, I've gone on a tangent. Konate, yes, I think he will come good. Here's the thing, he has to be professional. I don't know what's happened. He's just not come back from the summer holidays. I don't know what's going on with him. But again, he got away with one yesterday. He really looks like either his head's been turned or he's still on summer break, and Virgil has got his work cut out. That's the way it looks like at the moment. But the bottom line is they can be got at, and they can be got at down the flanks because Gyokeres likes to go forward, and both their flanks like to go forward, which is why he played Slobash right back yesterday. And that's going to be interesting to see what he does on the weekend. But look, I've laid into Liverpool a bit there. I also want to give credit where credit's due. It's not easy to go away to St. James's Park. And the main thing you need to do is win the game. Jamie Carragher said yesterday that is the worst performance he's ever seen from a winning team. But they won, didn't they? If it was the worst performance he's seen from a team that's won the game, it means he watched Arsenal against against United at Old Trafford the week before, and he reckons Liverpool were worse last night than Arsenal were at Old Trafford. And they won the game. So credit where credit's due. Slot takes the risk, throws on Rio, gets it right again, right? What can you say, really? 3 points.
That's a sign of champions.
That's a sign of champions.
And that's worrying. I mean, it's only the first couple of games of the season. Sometimes, well, a lot of the times, it takes teams to get into the groove, and it may take a few games or even half a season for them to actually, start picking up momentum. And this was Fergie's style, right? All the way up until Mourinho come, and then Mourinho was like, you know what? And then the next season, after Mourinho won, he's like, we can't afford to do that. We need to start winning games ASAP. But moving off topic, that's the thing. So they have a lot of holes. Even that you said it with the flanks, like Gyokeres, as good as he is, and as aggressive and as moody and as nasty as, which I love in a player. Even when you look at the second goal, bro, he was at fault for it. He wasn't even looking at the ball, like when that ball came in and it was headed in. I think that you guys on Sunday could absolutely go down the flanks, go down the middle.
Cool, Mark. So before we jump into Liverpool versus Arsenal, let's quickly recap Arsenal's game against Leeds at home, 5-0, walk in the park. They frustrated us for a good 20, 25 minutes, I think, but Arsenal got into the game. And once we got our goal from Timber, corner comes in. Again, Declan Rice just puts it on a sixpence. He's so good at doing that. We get off the mark, and to be honest, Mark, we never look back. We never looked back from that point. It was over. It was done. And I'm happy for Julian Timber as well, because I'm the first to say, I don't think he offers as much going forward offensively. To get his goal, I think he deserved it. It was a man of the match performance. He ends up getting 2 goals, actually. Really, really good. But the big news in terms of goals, Saka gets his goal, by the way, so he looked electric before he comes off. That was brilliant play. And again, Declan Rice wins the ball back, right? Because he sees Nwaneri get tackled. Rice is there like a bullet. For me, Rice was actually our man in the match. I know it got given to Timber, and fair play, I got no complaints. But Rice makes sure we win that ball back. Zubimendi plays it out. Timber plays in Saka with a lovely weighted pass. And, again, not used to that from Timber. Expect to see it more from Ben White. And then Saka lashes it home. He could have squared it for Gyokeres, who was sitting on 0 at that point in terms of goals. But he lashes it home like the champion he is, before, unfortunately, he goes off injured. We'll come on to that. But the big news was the big man got off the mark. Do it with me, Mark. Do it with me. Gyokeres off the mark. And I tell you what a goal to get off the mark with, because I'd much rather he gets off the mark with that than a tap in Or, do you know, in the first half, the ball fell to him and he sort of didn't know where he was, where he could have actually stopped the ball, taken a nap, got up and still scored, and he just panicked. He didn't know where he was. I'd rather he scored the goal that he did. Running down into space, in behind, cuts across. He's only got one thing on his mind, Mark. He's not passing that ball, my friend. He is making sure he's getting his shot off, and quality goal, I'd say. Really, really good way to get off a mark. What do you think?
Bro, like, you can have a look at him. I don't even think he saw anything else. I don't even think he saw his teammates. He didn't even look around the box, bro. He didn't even look at the goal. Yeah, he just knew what he was going to do before I think he even knew he'd. And that's the thing. He is the missing piece for Arsenal, because you haven't had the player like that in a long time. I mean, you had Gabriel Martinelli trying to do that like every single game and just never pulled it off. This guy, the first time I see him actually do that, bro, it was precision. It was clinical. It was selfish. It was nasty. I loved it. And I was happy. I hate Arsenal. You lot are scummy. But I'm a big fan of Gyokeres. And for me, I had no doubt that he'll be able to do it in the Premier League, because, well and truly, he's only done that at Coventry Championship. He's only done that at Sporting, Portuguese League, which is definitely not as strong. So there was a big gamble bringing him in. But the question for me was, when was he going to actually kick on? And he kicked on actually in the second game, which was a couple of days ago. That goal was brilliant. And I was so happy for him. And I wanted to see him do that stupid mask celebration thing. And he did it. And then, you look at all the Arsenal supporters and they were all doing it. And I was like, oh, you bunch of... I've got stuff to say.
Well, Mark, you saw it twice, didn't you? You saw it twice, that celebration. It was so nice. He had to do it twice. So outside of that,
Good
Timber
penalty.
gets his goal. His goal sandwiched Timber's second goal. The penalty... Max Dauman. I have to mention Max Dauman. So Saka is off injured. Madueke switches over to the right very briefly. I saw enough there to think, you know what? Madueke can obviously there's going to be a drop off, right, when Saka goes off.
And obviously, bro, it's level.
It's come out that he's only going to be out for 3-4 weeks. Initially, I thought it was going to be worse. So I'll take that. And it's his other hamstring, I think, that he tweaked slightly. But 3-4 weeks, okay, no problem. Well, it is a problem because we've got Anfield this weekend. But Max Dauman, when he then comes on, this kid's 15. Dude, he's doing his GCSEs next year. But he's just come on, gliding across the pitch like Roger Federer in his prime. And then not only does he take his man on, wins free kicks, he then takes his man on and wins us a penalty as well, which goes to Gyokeres. That the kid just, some kids just have it. He's got it. He just looks like he belongs, and he's got strength. He's got strength, Mark, at 15. He looks wiry, but that's fine. Those wingers that look wiry and a little bit rangy and long arms, he knows how to use his body, Mark, which is so impressive for a 15-year-old. His decision-making will get, obviously, even better with time, but he looks fantastic for me. So honourable mention to Max. Anything you want to say on Max before we go on the Gyokeres pen?
I think he's the most electrifying 15, 16-year-old out there today. In fact, I haven't been turned on by a player that is 15. That just sounds mega wrong. That just sounds mega wrong. Right. But you get what I'm saying. Max Dauman is the one. And I think Chelsea should go out and buy him. I put a pod out specifically on Max Dauman about a month ago, which of course you were there. And I said Chelsea needs to purchase this kid. It's never going to happen. I actually think he's so good. I think he should be a starter, especially now that Saka's gone. I mean, he is much... Bruv, who are you going to put on the left? Would you rather have Martinelli?
Let's talk about that. Let's definitely talk about that. So Gyokeres gets his pen. By the way, Max wouldn't go to Chelsea. He's got standards. But let's talk about the Gyokeres pen, right? That was a quality penalty. Max wins it. Saka's not on the pitch. Gyokeres steps up. He's basically scored every penalty but one in his whole career. And I love the way he takes that penalty. He absolutely leathers it, Mark. He leathers it. There's no saving it, even if the keeper goes the right way. He gets his brace. Happy days. Arsenal look really, really professional, I would say. I'd say that performance was really, really professional against the Leeds side that have just come up. And we just didn't even give them a sniff bar one header they had when it was 0-0. And I think that was a really, really professional performance. 2 games, 2 clean sheets, 6 goals. And it was very, very, very pleasing. Now, Mark, let's move on to what you just spoke about. We've got Liverpool. Well, I say we have got Liverpool away at Anfield this Super Sunday. And you're saying, who are we going to play on the flanks now that Saka is out? By the way, Odegaard's out, and we looked better once Odegaard went off, but that's another story.
Blessing in disguise.
The real loss is Saka, right? The real loss is Saka.
Odegaard, bro, like, I you know my feelings on Odegaard, man. I told you, like, we were messaging when the game was playing. I don't want to see players get injured. Martin Odegaard seems like a nice guy, so I don't want to wish anyone being injured. But to be fair, yeah, he's overrated, geezer. It's a blessing in disguise if you look at it in a certain type of way, right? Because I just don't think he's an effective playmaker. I think he moves the ball, he looks slick on the ball, but he does actually hardly anything with it. His stats are rubbish. He's continued his trash form from last year. It's a good thing. He probably needs a break. And even when he's fit, like, bring him back slowly, give other players a chance. Because now you've got other players like Eze and stuff that can come in and do the job. I think he'll do it better. What do you think about what I just said?
Right now, I think he'll do it better. I think Nwaneri will do it better. Nwaneri came on in the impetus that he brought on the pitch straight away was different level, different gravy. And actually, Mark, we looked at a different team when Odegaard went off. But I do think that this will now raise the overall standard, because one thing I know about Odegaard, he is not going to take this line down. He will try and recapture the form that we saw from 2 seasons ago. And if anyone's going to push him, now he's not got just one player that can step into his shoes. He's got 2, because we do have Eberechi Eze, and he goes straight into the starting 11 against Anfield. Against Liverpool at Anfield.
Of course he does. Give me your 11 that you want to see play. I would love to hear what you got to say. Who's your 11?
All right, bear with me. I'll walk you through this. Obviously, the goalkeeper picks himself, the best goalkeeper in the league, in my opinion, if not second, if not joint top with Alisson. I think he's fantastic, do everything. The 2 centre-backs, let me go to them first. They pick themselves. Yes? Saliba, Gabriel. Julian Timber, you know how much I rate him at right back.
Yeah, and now you're left back. Okay.
I would switch Julian Timber from right back to left back. Reason being, Mo Salah. 2 words, Mo Salah. Mo Salah was anonymous against Newcastle. He won't be anonymous against Calafiori or MLS. As much as I love them boys going forward, and we lose something if we play Timber left back, because we lose the Calafiori stepping into midfield and charging through. Calafiori's had one really good game. He played really well against Leeds. And I know that Arteta's going to then start him, because actually he gives us something going forward. We do lose that if we switch Timber to left back. And Timber also showed us on the weekend from right back, he can create some offensive action for us, right? He played a lot of forward passes. He played 12 passes into the final third, more than anyone else.
That's
on
crazy
the team.
stat for him.
Actually, it just feels like it's a bit of a one-off, Mark. I don't know if he's going to do that at Anfield, but look, I won't be disappointed. Either way, Timber plays.
Who's on your right?
I'm tempted to put him left back, but it all depends on Ben White's fitness. So I don't know if Ben White is fit at right back. If he's not, then obviously you've got to go Timber right back, Calafiori left back. Go into the middle of the park. Zubimendi, I'm happy with him so far. People can say what they want. I'm actually quite happy with him so far. I like him. He's starting to look like the conductor that he is. Declan looked different night and day from when he was at United the weekend before to when he played against Leeds. I know different opposition, but he just looked sharper, as did Gyokeres, as I said. First 20 seconds, Gyokeres looked quicker. Declan was the same. He looked quicker, he looked sharper, and he bossed that game for me. He was man of the match. Number 10. Here's a conundrum, Mark. We've just signed Eze. He's played for Palace first game against you boys. Do we put Eze in at number 10 or do we put Nwaneri in at number 10? Nwaneri came on and did a job. I'm inclined to give the position to Nwaneri. I'll tell you why in a second. On the right, I'm going to give it to Madueke because he's direct. And instead of Max Dauman, I'm not going to throw him away at Anfield at 15 years old, as good as he looks. I'm not going to throw him straight into the fray, keep him on the bench. On the left, I'll start Eze. Gyokeres up top. Before I throw it to you, Mark, I don't mind if Eze starts at number 10 and Martinelli starts on the left. Reason being, Martinelli always shows up against Liverpool. Always. And their right back is out. Frimpong is out. They're either playing Slobosh or they're playing Conor Bradley when he'll be. I think Conor Bradley will be fit by the weekend. That to me suggests Martinelli's the 5th quickest so far in the Premier League this season.
I don't care, bro. He's crap, bro. Like, no, I can't even believe that you're considering him. He's trash, bro.
I am considering him. He's trash. He shows up at Anfield, dude.
That doesn't mean he's going to show up this game, bro. He's been trash, bro. You can't just say, oh, you know what? He plays well at Anfield.
He's quick.
Likelihood.
If we've got to hit him with pace, he's the quickest
guy
we've got.
What's he going to do? He's going to fumble. He's going to try and shoot and miss. Bro,
penultimate game of the season, we were at Anfield. We were at Anfield. Penultimate game of the season. Martinelli was rubbish. He goes straight for in the middle and ends up getting his goal, and he's our star player to make sure we get a draw. This is at the end of last season. I know what you're saying, and I know most people watching, Mark, will be shouting, saying the same thing as you. Is this guy lost his marbles? Guys, let me know if you think I have. But Martinelli always shows up against Liverpool. That's why I wouldn't be too disappointed if he started Martinelli there and Eze number 10, because if he starts Eze number 10, who does it benefit? Gyokeres. I'm happy with that, but I'm comfortable. You hit me.
Martinelli.
What do you think?
Martinelli wouldn't even be in my squad. I throw him in the bin, bro. I'll just throw him in the bin. Pay him off, bruv. Like, no. I'll be so disappointed. No, I would never. I'm not a fan of Martinelli. I'm not even joking. He wouldn't be in my squad. That would not be my team. My team will be a little bit more risky. And you know what I'm going to be saying, right? I would have on the right Madueke, and I think he's rubbish. Yeah, I know you're starting to like him, and now Arsenal fans are starting to back him. Yeah, fair, back your player. But I think that you've spent 50 million on a dud player. And we're only remaining to be seen and see what Arteta can do with him. But who else have you got? Your squad ain't strong, bro.
How can you say our squad ain't strong?
Your squad ain't strong. Your first 11 is wicked. I will say that.
Whose squad is? Did you see Liverpool's squad yesterday? Did you see their bench and you compare it to ours, bro?
Yeah, okay. Their bench is rubbish as well. You guys have got strong first 11s. That's my opinion. But coming off the bench, like, you don't have much firepower. Here is my 11. I would put Madueke, because otherwise, what other options have you got? I'll play Trossard.
Last season, when Saka went off, we had 0 options. Now we've got Madueke, who is a drop-off. That is an improvement for me. Now, obviously, Kai Havertz is injured, otherwise he'd be in the squad. You've got Max Dauman, bro. And you said you'd start
I'm going to
get
on to him. I'm going to get onto him.
Okay, I'll start with Madueke. So me and you the same. Me and you the same on the right. Go on.
You know what? I'll start Madueke, yeah? But if he's pissing me off, right, up until if he's not doing anything, even before the half-time, I'd bring on Trossard. I honestly would. But that's me. I'm not a fan of Madueke. And I know first
hand. Put Trossard where? On the right?
I'll put him on the right. I don't care, bro. Like, Madueke, bro, is one selfish player, right? You say that you want to have a selfish player, but not if you keep skying it. I'm not a big fan. Look, I'll play Madueke at the beginning, yeah, but I'd have to monitor. I'll definitely monitor him. It would be in the middle will be Eze, and on the left it'll be Max Dauman, and that's what I'm saying by saying it's going to be risky. And I would throw him into a Liverpool game. I rate that kid extremely highly, and it will give him massive experience. Right? I'll play Max Dauman on the left, Eze in the middle. Now, I would also consider interchanging the players a little bit, being a little bit more flexible with the formation and the positional players of Arsenal. And maybe I might put Madueke in the middle because he loves playing in the 10. And I might put Max Dauman then on the right and put Eze in his best position, which is on left-hand wing. But if we're starting off Max Dauman on the left, 10 it would be Eze. My 9 would be Gyokeres, of course, and I would start hesitantly with Madueke on the right. That would be my team. Does that sound crazy?
Didn't mention.
Yeah, go on. Who am I missing?
It sounds crazy. The thing is, what we've talked about there is so many different options, which is what I like about us this season. I think we've got options. In a week, we've lost Kai, Odegaard and Saka, and yet we've still got so many options to play, Mark. You know, this happened last season. We lost Kai, Odegaard, Saka, and we had no one. We were talking about lumping Marino up top. Now we're talking a different thing, Mark, because of all the options you laid there, guess what? You didn't even mention Nwaneri. And Nwaneri plays in the 10, and he plays in the 10 ahead of Madueke for me because he came on and he did a good job. And I think I wouldn't be disappointed if Ethan Nwaneri started, because that kid has got no fear. He's a quality operator. And actually, I would protect Max Dauman as good as he is. This is Anfield. This is the worst place to go. We're talking about a top of the table clash.
I think he could do it.
I'm not saying he couldn't. I'm not saying he couldn't. But I'm saying maybe I would have him on the bench, because you've got Eze out there. You've got a Martinelli who's got previous against Liverpool, like him or not. And you've got a Nwaneri who came on and played the 10, and the level of the team went up. I don't know if I can drop Nwaneri just based on what I've just said there, because Odegaard, as rubbish as he was, and Nwaneri comes up, the level of the whole team goes up. Well, if that's the case, then Nwaneri keeps his spot. Madueke's on the right. Eze's on the left. Options, Mark. Options.
That is strong.
And you protect Max. You've got Max on the bench. You've got pace on the bench with Martinelli. You've got options if things go sour. Now, we need to be careful, because Liverpool, as much as we talk about the holes in their side, and they do have holes, Saka's not there to exploit the hole behind left back, which, Mark, if Saka was playing, I think we win this game. I don't care what anyone says. We don't lose to Liverpool. We haven't lost to Liverpool in 3 years. We haven't lost to Liverpool in 3 years, Mark, by the way. 3.5 years. And if Saka's playing, he causes havoc. Mate, he causes havoc against Liverpool, no, full stop. So he's not playing. I still think there's a hole there to be exploited. Whether Madueke can do it or not, I don't know. But maybe it comes down to Zubimendi. The midfield battle is going to be interesting, because Gravenberch is back. He's going to have to do a lot of protecting, because if we get at that back four, we cause them serious problems. As the caveat to this, Mark, is that they're still the league's top scorers. They've scored 7 goals in 2 games. And so what that means is they've got more than enough firepower to do us. Get that. But I think we've also got the firepower to hurt them, and we always
They may have scored 7 goals, Geezer, but how many have they let in? 5.
4.
Is it 5, isn't it?
Well, 4, hold on. 2 apiece. Yeah, 2 apiece. 4.
4.
Okay, we're going straight to score.
Okay.
Geez, I'll go 1-1. I'll go 1-1, but I tell you what, Mark. I'm so tempted to go a 1-0 or 2-1 to Arsenal, because I do believe, Saka or no Saka, that we can go there and do a job. I really like us.
You've got too much faith in your team. You've got too much faith in your team.
It's not a bad thing, Geese. It's not a bad thing. You're telling me that Chelsea are going to finish above us. I think you got too much faith in your team, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. Listen, you say too much faith in your team. We've gone 2 games. We've gone 2 games. We haven't conceded a single goal. We've barely conceded any shots, like any chances. We're always going to be solid at the back. And now we've got firepower. And now we've got Eze. We did all that without Eze. Who you said could be a more important signing than Gyokeres. By the way, Gyokeres is averaging 1 in 1, so a goal a game. You can say I've got too much faith in our team, but you just said Liverpool don't look the same Liverpool. They can be got at. Well, if anyone's going to get at them, it's going to be Arsenal or City or Chelsea or teams like that. Bournemouth and Newcastle have got at them. Newcastle got at them with 10 men. So, yeah, you can say I've got too much faith in the team. I'm very tempted. And you know what? I'm so tempted to go Arsenal win, but I'll go 1-1. What is your score prediction?
1-0 Liverpool.
Geese, they've not beaten us in 3.5 years. Change that prediction. Stop tempting fate. 1-0 Liverpool.
Look, let's put it like this, yeah. Liverpool, as bad as they've been, they've actually gone to Newcastle, right? And it's at Newcastle. Okay, they played against 10 men. That is huge. I'm not dismissing that fact, but they still come out winners. Arsenal, yeah, your first game against Manchester United, you didn't play great. In fact, you were boring. You were side to side. There was hardly any energy. Yeah, the good thing is you've played against Leeds. Leeds ain't great. They're up and coming. You're expected to win that. But it gives both teams, based on your wins, huge confidence to come into Super Sunday games where you guys collide together, right? And you're both going to be high on confidence. Liverpool are at home at Anfield. Yes, you haven't won. Yes, you haven't lost there. You haven't lost against Liverpool in 3 years. So you have to take that in consideration as well. But I just have a feeling that Liverpool at home will do it. If I'm a betting man, I'd bet 1-0 Liverpool. But there's so much context. It would not surprise me if it's a draw. In fact, probably if I really am a betting man, it'll be 1-0 Liverpool or 1-1. I don't see Arsenal going there and winning. But I sound stupid because I'm thinking about, how good Gyokeres is, and now you're going to have Eze.
If Saka was playing, would you see a world where Arsenal go there and win this season?
Yes. And it definitely wouldn't be 1-0, my prediction. It would at least be 1-1. It would at least be 1-1 with Saka there. I think he's such a big miss. I still think, Saka is your most important player. You've got Eze, you've got Gyokeres, but Saka is born and bred. He knows the club, he knows the team. They know how he works. Yeah, I think Saka is a huge miss. 4 weeks is still a lot. It's still a while, bro. He's going to be missing the England games. He's going to be missing, a couple of Arsenal games, including a massive one again. That's huge. It's
Let's
huge.
see how long.
Yeah.
If he's out for 3 weeks, we could get him back for the City game potentially. But I know it's all up in the air at the moment. We don't know, but he definitely misses the international break. That's for sure. And he misses Liverpool, obviously. Huge.
Yeah.
Nothing you've said there is outrageous. Nothing you've said there is outrageous. Look, I'm a realist. At the end of the day, of course, I want us to go there and win. But can Liverpool turn us over? Of course they can. They turn anyone over. It's Anfield. They can beat anyone at Anfield. Like, they can beat anyone away, really, as well. Like, they are that good. As much grief as I give Liverpool, I'll continue doing it. They are great. They're a great team, and they're going to step up against us. They're not going to come. They're going to see us as a potential title challenger to their throne, and they're not going to show up on Sunday and be lax. If they go 2-0 up, they're not letting us back in. Not like they've done against Newcastle and Bournemouth. They're going to make sure. But I think there's enough holes there for us to exploit. I just wish Saka was fit. It's such an annoying shame. Guys, let us know what you think in the comments. If you think I'm barking mad, I'm sure you'll let me know. Many do already. But Mark,
we've both said, yeah, man, Giza, look, we've both said some different, outrageous, potentially things during this pod. Let us know, as this my guy said, let us know in the comments down below what's your thoughts. Who is your preferred 11? And if you want to see more of our content, click this video right here, guys, and we'll see you lot on the next one. Yeah, peace.